All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the April 21st Board of Selectmen meeting. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. All selectmen present except Mrs. Donahue. She's absent tonight. With us, Interim Town Administrator John Sanjanet.
All right, thank you, sir. First order of business will be citizens' participation. Anybody wish to speak? Sir. Just come up, speak directly in the mic and introduce yourself, please.
My name is Steve McDonough,
Yes, sir.
McDonough?
Go ahead.
And I guess it's a question and a request. It started a couple of weeks ago that there's trucks coming down the road. And what it is Makepeace.
Which road?
104, Maple Springs Road, down towards the end. And there's trucks coming down there and going out into the back where Maple Springs 2 was supposed to be built. Now, my understanding was Maple Springs 2 has been stopped or is not going to take place, and I believe that land was sold to the state. I'm not sure. But there's trucks going down there, and there's sand and gravel being removed from there. And what I'm asking is, was a permit issued for this? And if not, can a cease and desist be issued? Or at least some type of find out what's going on out there. I mean, there's a lot of sand and gravel coming out of there. This morning there was about 6 trucks that went by at 20 minutes to 7, and a total today of about 50 trucks in and out, removing sand and gravel. Now, I had these trucks followed yesterday, and they went from down at the end of the road off the Makepeace property, or the state's property, whoever owns it now, and it went out to a construction site in Swansea. Now, by past experience, that sand and gravel removal, that requires a permit. And I'm asking, was one issued, and if not, can this be stopped?
Well, we can certainly send a letter to 80 Makepeace making an inquiry as to what their activity is there. If it's for agricultural purpose, we know we have a problem. The town failed to pass a bylaw that would have included agricultural earth removal as part of our permitting. But if it is for non-agricultural use, then yes, requires a permit. So we can certainly inquire with them by letter. If you'd like a copy of the letter, leave your address with the selectman's office. You call us in the morning and we'll copy you on any correspondence.
Because at first I thought it may have been agricultural, but then it dawned on me, sanding season's over for these guys. Because I live right on the box. I got 5 acres abutting it.
Well, I can't answer you. I don't know what they're specifically doing there. I didn't witness anything. I am not aware of what they're removing and for what purpose. And the way to start that process, obviously, is to ask them. And based on that response, we can act accordingly.
But I think, if I may, Mr. Chair, we can say that there has not been an earth removal permit. That was one of the questions that you asked.
Right.
This board has not issued an earth removal permit, and I believe that if it is the Maple Springs 2 area, my recollection is, you're right, a week or two ago, there was information that 80 Makepeace had sold it to the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, I believe it was, for like $3.2 million.
Right.
It was 300-something acres up there, and I believe that in the newspaper it did say that it included the Maple Springs too.
Correct.
So I would guess that there may be some issue, aside from the earth removal permit, but insofar as if it is that area, and I don't know where the trucks are actually coming from, but if the Department of Marine and Fisheries, you may want to contact them to find out if they're aware of it, if there is some type of agreement in their contract to allow 80 Makepeace to still take stuff off of that site in an earth removal type thing. But that would probably be in the...
But even if it was in the agreement,
They would still
wouldn't
have
it
to, right,
still
if it
have
was,
to come
if
here
that's
for a
what...
permit?
Yes, yes. So, but I believe if it is the Maple Springs 2 area, I believe it was the Department of Marine Fisheries that the deal was made with.
Well, again, the first thing we're going to do is write a letter to them and ask them. And based on that response, we can act accordingly. Then we have something in writing, we're on notice, they're on notice, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, because if you recall, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Berkeley from Makepeace came in, and we asked him several questions on what was happening down at that end of Maple Springs Road, and he said he'd get back to us. He sent a letter in that same week that said that they were ceasing work down there and that he would contact us if anything was to start up again. So, Mr. McDonough, Mr. Berkeley put himself on record by writing us a letter saying they would notify us when work would start. So I think the chair is absolutely correct. We'll get a letter off to Mr. Berkeley asking him why there's work happening down there. Now, his answer may be that we sold that at somebody else. However, your first point is correct. That still is Zone 2, and they need an earth removal permit. So,
Because it started maybe a couple of weeks ago, it was just a couple of trucks, started on a Saturday, and now it's a full-blown operation.
okay.
Do you have anything else, sir?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak to the board? Okay, seeing none. Next order of business will be the consent agenda, Mr. Clerk. I'm sorry, let's do announcements.
We have two announcements this evening. One of them is Wareham Reads, a community reading initiative. Beginning in May, the Wareham Free Library, in collaboration with the Wareham Public Schools and other community organizations, is launching a community-wide read program with related events. Over the next 6 months, everyone will be encouraged to read the same book, in this case, 3 Cups of Tea, in order to build community, goodwill, and literacy. Mr. Chairman, in the future, representatives of Wareham Reads will be coming forward to let the community know about related events that are going to take place in the town between May and October, and fundraising from the various sources will support the project. So it sounds like a real good initiative. The second announcement tonight is a public service announcement. Wareham Community Television is proud to present the following program: Excess Nitrogen Discharge to Wareham's Coastal Waters. A conversation with Dr. Joe Costa, Executive Director, Buzzards Bay National Estuary Program, Mass Coastal Zone Management. This program will be shown on Channel 9, Comcast, and Channel 30, Verizon, on the following dates and times: April 22nd, Wednesday, 12 noon and 6 p.m., April 23rd, Thursday, 10 a.m., 7 p.m., April 24th, Friday, 12 noon, April 25th, Saturday, 12 noon and 8 p.m., and April 26th, Sunday at 8 p.m. So tune in and listen to Dr. Joe Costa tell you everything you wanted to know about nitrogen discharge. So that's our two announcements, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And consent agenda.
Authorization to sign bills and documents. I have no bills before me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Next order of business is license and permits. We have applications from the Wareham Village Association, care of Phyllis Deacus, for the use of town roads. Would you like to, hi.
Hi, I'm Jackie Lindsay.
Hi, Jackie. Why don't you have a seat, and would you like to handle all 3 of these at one time?
Yes, please, I just thought it would be more efficient.
Hello, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, John.
Good evening.
Hi.
You want to take us through it?
Okay, the first is, that I'd like to do is the Swan Festival,
Okay.
which will be July 11th this year, on Saturday, with a rain date of the 12th. I've enclosed for you an entire map of the festival, beginning with the entrance at Merchants Way.